What's up, buddies, and welcome to another episode of Elk Don't Exist, the podcast, with me, your host, Dillon Deitz. I'm so glad that you're here. We've got a great episode for you. But firstly, this podcast is brought to you by the one and only OnX Maps. OnX goes so much further than just telling you private land ownership, state land. It goes so much further than just telling you where you can hunt. It also tells you how you can hunt, from satellite, hybrid mode, topography, and my new favorite feature, LiDAR, which just gives you an insanely detailed look at the topography of a place. Get started today. You can sign up for a free account, and even the free tools are awesome. Thank you, OnX, for sponsoring this podcast. Guys, let's get the show started, and let's do it right now. What's up, buddies? Hello, and welcome to another episode of Elk Don't Exist, the podcast. Today, a great guest, one of my favorite hunters. I think it's safe to say Mr. Barney is every content creator's favorite content creator. Great dude, absolute killer of killers, humble. You could check him out, the Eastman's Elevated podcast. I started listening to that, I don't know, 7 years ago. And we're at his little studio. Thanks for being on the podcast.
Oh, dude, my pleasure.
My friend.
That's quite the intro for one take. You're like a professional nowadays.
I do my best.
I'd have to do that 3 times.
No, there's no do-overs, and you just got to go for it.
It's the one take is the best, isn't it? I do it like filming for the podcast, and if I make a mistake or trip over a word, I think it makes it more authentic.
Exactly.
And did you see my 2-match challenge the other day where... Oh, dude, I filmed this deal, and Dillon goes, hey, it'd be kind of cool to show guys to build a fire off one match. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds good.
Cool.
And so we take all this time, and we shave the shavings and find the red leaves, and we get it all piled up. And I light that first match, and I get a little bit of smoke, and it doesn't go. And so we just left it in there and then changed it to the 2-match challenge, and had a good chuckle over it. Yeah, it's great.
That's what I'm all about.
Yeah.
My brand summed up is that.
Yeah.
2-match. Instead of 1 match, you know?
Yeah. Authenticity is king, I think. And
100%.
People relate to you more, like the more you can be yourself and let your personality out. So the more mistakes you make, the more of an idiot you look like, the better your content does.
Yeah, because, and we've talked about this, like when I started making these silly videos, making fun of myself for not being the best hunter in the world, it was like, 90% of all hunters everywhere feel like me. Awesome. We're not the minority.
No.
You know? Like people like, you're the outlier, dude.
No, I still feel like you. Yeah.
You just showed me 3 200-inch mule deer inside your house. And guys, if you've never seen a 200-inch mule deer in person, just make it your life's goal just to see one on someone's wall or something. It is preposterous.
Yeah, thank you.
These big, just like mainframe 5 points. That one's 289 inches or whatever it was. All with your bow. When did your bow only all the time? Mm-hmm. When was the last time you killed something with a rifle?
2005.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why did you just decide after that, like, only bow forever now?
I killed a great bull in 2005. And I was really proud of him, and it was a good season. It was a late season bull, like a 6x7, big heavy one. I killed him, and it was like, man, I really want one like that with my bow. And if I want one like that with my bow, I have to be working bow all the time. So part of the reason why I'm a good bow hunter is because I suck at, bow is so tough that you get so much experience because it's so difficult to arrow something. So I get way more days of field trying to kill an elk with my bow, or way more days of field trying to kill a mule deer. In turn, I get more experience. It makes me better. And I'm always in a bow hunter's mindset. So I always think about the wind. It's never a hustle up and hurry up and get the shot. I'm always thinking about the stock. And so that's where I was really able to take my bow hunting to the next level, was really committing to it. Now, I had enough success where I'd be able to fill the freezer and things. So I knew I'd be able to get meat every year. And then I was able to make that transition. But
that's cool.
it's like do whatever lights your heart on fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, and that's what lights my heart on fire is getting them with the bow and getting them close. What excites me, keeps me training hard, keeps me shooting. So that's what I did. I just went all in and have never looked back.
I love that, man. And I can't relate to it at all because several years ago, there's a black bear that me and a buddy hunted for 5 or 6 years straight, well over 7 foot, multiple stalks on him, just never could seal the deal. To this day, the biggest black bear I've ever laid eyes on. And here, I don't know, this was maybe 3 years ago. I was like, I've killed enough black bears with the rifle, and I always end up calling them into 50 yards or closer. I guess my favorite way to kill black bears.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can do this with a bow. I'm going to commit the whole season to hunting with a bow. The first day I go out, this is early, like April 17th, and I'm up in this spot just glassing for this bear, and he always shows up on the very tops, but I've never hunted it early season. So my thought was like, maybe I can find him lower, put a stalk on him with the bow, and 30 minutes before light, I look across the drainage, and he's 200 yards away, and it's him. And I just have my bow in my hand because I was waiting on a rifle build to be done. So that was part of it too. It was like I wanted the challenge, but by necessity. Like, and I'm calling at this bear like, it's gnarly, steep, giant rushing creek bottom, and we're running. I don't have time to get over there, And all I can keep thinking of is this bear that I have more history with than any other animal that has escaped us time and time again over the years. I have him in chip shot range with a rifle. Biggest bear of my life, biggest bear I will ever kill is right there. And I have no way to kill him. And then I put the bow in the garage, and it was rifle from then on out. So I made it one day with that bow only mindset. So.
That's the toughest mentality to get over is like, I could have killed that thing with a rifle. So that's the thing that'll eat you alive.
Right.
But
how do you get over that?
Yeah, I don't know. You just switch this mindset where you
Have you ever on like giant mule deer ever had that thought of like, I should pick the rifle back up?
No, bow only. Yep. Yeah, no, I just got that mindset now where I just don't even think about it. It's either with the bow or nothing for me, and it means the most to me. But I do think it's smart to take advantage of all weapons and all seasons. And I think, I say I'm the hunter I am because of committing to a bow, but really I gained so much experience being able to take advantage of rifle seasons, being able, like the late season bull elk with a rifle here in my home valley are really difficult, high pressure, and to try to kill a big one, like that really made gave me toughness, gave me grit of being out in the cold, backpacking. So a lot of reason that I killed that big mule deer that we were looking at out there is because of the time that I spent hunting elk with a rifle late season. So I think that's good. And also like nowadays, the muzzleloader game, like a lot of these tags you can draw easier for muzzleloader season than you can archery seasons. And so taking advantage of these different seasons, different times a year, I always say like hunting different species in different environments improves your skill sets in different ways. So I don't think it's right for everybody. It was just right for me.
I love that, and because there's a lot of bow only guys, mostly in the trad scene, that are like, you are not a hunter unless you kill everything with a trad bow, I've said this before, everyone says shoot what makes you happy, and I'm a huge believer in that. Like, it's your tag, the buck that gets your heart going, or bull, that's yes, and I'm gonna cheer you on like it's a 400-inch bull or whatever, and that's me personally. But I believe shoot what makes you happy also applies to weapons as well. I don't care what caliber you shoot, There's easy jokes to be made about certain calibers, and that's just fun. But like I've made fun of crossbows before, just because I don't make the rules. Like, shooting a crossbow is objectively gay a little bit, And I didn't make that rule. It's just it is what it is.
Yeah.
But like, if there was a December crossbow only season. You bet your ass I'm buying a crossbow and shooting it and getting good at it, So I like that mindset as well, If there's a spear season, an ad-lattle only season, I'm buying one and try not to send one into the highway behind my house when I'm practicing. But Yeah, I love it. Taking advantage of the whatever opportunities you have is great.
Well, and bow hunting's difficult. Rifle hunting is also difficult. You have
Right.
all these other
Thank you for
challenges.
saying that.
You like, we get the benefit of the best seasons being a bow hunter, where rifle seasons usually don't happen during the best timing of the year. Now, we do have a rut hunt in Montana, but then you have the hunting pressure and the Orange Army that gets out there where you got to work twice as hard. So rifle hunting, you spend a lot of your time looking for the animal you want to kill. Bow hunting, you spend a lot of time hunting the animal you want to kill.
That's a great way to put it. You know, because would you say you're finding like your target deer in the summertime?
At times, yeah. If I'm hunting early season, for sure, scouting early season mule deer, it's so advantageous to killing them that you can scout in the summertime. Where you find them in the summer is where they are during the bow seasons. And man, they've got this lax summertime attitude, and they're velvet, hanging in these alpine basins, hanging with other bucks. Like it's easier to find the big ones and then get chances at them. Now, it's gotten more popular as well. There's a lot of guys that are hunting high country mule deer now, to where when I first started, I could have any tag. Nobody even thought you could kill a mule deer with a bow. I got to hunt the best places. So it's gotten a little bit more popular where you have to work hard at it, but that's where that rifle hunter's mentality has served me well, where I'm willing to work harder, believe I can get them killed, and go out there. But yeah, rifle hunting is also difficult.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Especially like for a guy like me that just struck out with a bow for 12 straight years. Having that rifle in my hand, it just feels like home to me. It's like I will be putting something in the freezer.
It's a different feeling when you have a gun in your hands, isn't it?
Yeah,
You just have an extended range, and it's like, if I find him, he's dead, you know? Or it's not a guarantee. I've also seen guys miss some really easy shots. It's so easy to get excited, and I think guys, what happens is you throw up the rifle, find hair, and jerk the trigger, you know? And it's like that shot is nowhere close. So I've seen it happen on good rests. I've seen it freehand, and I've seen some really good shooters on the range miss some really easy shots, and that bullet is nowhere close. It's not like they missed it by a few inches. You're talking a few feet.
Oh, this bear season, the first bear I missed this year, it was snowing. And so I'm like, my like go-to rifle range is on the way. Let's go put some out at 500 and just get some reps in. And there's a rock about that big, and I put 10 rounds into the dead center of that rock, just perfect, effortless. I'm like, good to go. About 2 hours later, I'm in my hunting spot, and a bear comes out, and I miss it 1.5 feet in front of its face. On a dead solid rest. I had a rear rest.
Yeah.
And then my excuse, there's always some excuse you can find. This is a pro tip. And this is all on video, so it's confirmed. But I had a light primer strike on the first click. And that shot was executed perfectly. And then just nothing. I'm like, what? Rack one, and then he starts moving, stops again. Now I'm rushed. I'm not paying attention to my bubble level. But it was a 350-yard shot. And I was just hammering dead center, like a 4-inch group at 500 yards, barely trying, and whiffed by 1.5 feet in front of this bear. I was like, huh. And that's what everyone's like, you got to put reps in behind your weapon. And I agree 1,000%.
Yeah.
Nothing, trying to fight your body's adrenaline response. I don't know if I'll ever be able to fully beat that. And maybe if I do, it's time to stop hunting. But like, how do you personally, because your mule deer this year, he's so cool. He's just a giant 3 on one side, 20-inch G2, just a saber growing out of his head, 28 inches wide, just huge, heavy, boxy frame. How do you keep your composure, or do you have a mantra you say to yourself so you don't just whack that trigger?
I used to think that I got more adrenaline or more excited than everybody else because I'd screw up so many encounters. I thought something's wrong with me, you know, but buck fever is real. And if you haven't missed, you either haven't been hunting long enough or you're a liar. Everybody misses, you know? And so I think, those reps shooting at animals has definitely helped. And I do try to
Animals.
Yeah, trigger time on animals. I mean, I know that bow like the back of my hand. And so, just taking a few deep breaths, and anymore, it's not as much of a car wreck as it used to be when I was young, like where you don't remember it, and it's like,
what pin did you put
Yeah,
on?
yeah. Did I even look
No
through my
fucking
peep
clue.
sight?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, totally, man. And so
Clink.
I kind of have a sequence I run through, and my best shots, I mean, really, there's only one step for me that's really important. I can go on autopilot on everything, but when I get to my trigger, pull, and let that shot break, so my pin doesn't find that animal and I jerk off the trigger, the same as we were talking about with the rifle.
Yeah.
As long as I don't do that with my bow, my shots execute really good.
Yeah.
So that's just the one step I have to remember in my head. I can be autopilot the whole way, and then once I draw back and find my pins, I actually tell myself, put the pin where it goes. And it's like, oh yeah, dummy, my pin's over here, up here. So then I put it on that animal, and then I just pull, and the shot breaks. And if I execute correctly, they die. I just put so much time behind that bow and have control of that adrenaline nowadays that I have enough reps on animals that as long as I do that step, they die. But man, there's so much that can go wrong. I mean, animals moving out of the way of the arrow this year, and then that'll get inside your head too as well. And usually elk wait on the arrow every single time. They're great. Dude, I had this bull this year, and I snuck into range, and he's feeding with his cows, and I mean, I break a clean shot. It's all on film. We're going to kill this giant bull. It's like, great, right? Execute this shot, and that bull hears that bow go, and I shoot the quietest bow, the quietest arrows. He actually, it was more towards a longer range. He ducks and moves out of the way. Arrow hits behind him. He's out of the way, and you can see the blade of grass. I'll show you after we get over the podcast, just because I like to prove it to other people that he did move out of the way or whatever. But you can see the blade of grass I'm aiming for, and my arrow hits that spot perfect. So, okay, it's like, okay, jumped the string or moved out of the way. Usually elk wait for it. I don't know what happened, you know? And so I keep hunting, and I'm like, well, I'll try to find him tonight. And then that night, I'm way back in this back basin in there, and he comes out with all his cows. And I'm like, oh man, I'm going to get a second chance. Like, here we go, game time, And so I creep all the way down. The thermals are coming down. I start creeping in, and he leaves his cows, and he's up in the timber just chasing off other bulls, just being a bull. I don't even know if he's looking for other cows or chasing off a bull. He hears me in the sage. I don't even make a sound to call him in, and he starts running at me to come beat me up. So I called in a bull without any sounds, just like crushing sagebrush. And I get my cameraman down, I get down to my knees, and he's coming through, and I've ranged at 40 yards, and he comes through the trees, and I draw back like that, and he comes out, and the camera comes in focus, and he comes to 30 yards right there. And it's just, all my pins are on him. It's like, I can't miss this one. And I execute a shot, and I did not hit that bull, and I was so beside myself. I haven't done that since I was a 20-year-old kid. I'm like, I don't know I know the pin was on him. I know I execute. He's 30 yards. I could have thrown my arrow and killed that thing. It was just such a gimme. And then I get back, and I review the footage, and I see this bull, the shot breaks, and I see this bull load up, and he ducks 16 inches, and the arrow goes right in the crease of his back, and I can put a pin of where the arrow was supposed to hit. My arrow hits that spot, and this bull ducks out of the way.
Wild.
And I don't even think it gave him a haircut. Definitely didn't enter him, which is good. But he ducked that string and missed it. But I was beside myself before I watched the footage, and I would never would have known if I didn't film it. So the same bull ducked my arrow twice this year before I killed my bull.
He's on you, Brian.
So it's like things go wrong when you're shooting at animals, and sometimes it's out of your control. All you can do is just break the best shots you can.
Yeah, exactly. My bull ducked a string this year, and I was shooting for 40. He was more at 33, and he was downhill of me. And I was so proud of myself, because I talked about this on your podcast. When he first comes out and he's behind the tree, I've got a gap about that big where I can pin it right behind his shoulder. And there was 2 times I felt my trigger finger go out like this and go, do it. You can do it. And I literally stopped myself. And I've been, I bought a new release. The Stan Solix clicker has helped with my trigger panic so much. And, you put your finger on it and start pulling that, shoulder, click, boom, and it goes off. And I caught myself doing this 2 times where I almost just was, that evil little thing. You can do it. You can make that shot. Tuck it in there. And that would have been horrible. I would have shoulder bladed him or worse. And then he finally comes out and then just squeeze. Finally executed a good trigger pull. And I wasn't making noise. He had no clue I was there. And he ducked it. And luckily I, hit him in the spine and ran up and put another one in him. But yeah, even when everything like seems to go perfectly your way, just stuff happens with the bow, which is why I love rifle hunting a lot more. I've never lost an animal that I've shot with a rifle.
That's great. Yep.
And that's not saying I'm a great shooter by any means, but there's just a lot more margin of error,
And you're putting good shots on them too.
Yes.
Yep, because it can happen with the rifle too.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy, I just finished shooting the rookie season, which I was telling you about.
Oh, how cool, man.
All 3 brand new hunters. These aren't guys that have I've never killed a deer, but I've been hunting. They've never hunted. Never. I had to teach them how to walk quiet. It was like taking a child, that level of one guy solo who's going to be this season finale, and he killed just an ancient old mountain whitetail.
Saw that. Such a great one, man.
One of the coolest bucks I've ever laid hands on. All of his tines he was a 6x6 in his prime, which is really rare and super cool for a mountain whitetail. And all those tines, his G2s were 2 inches. And it all just was regressing into mass and palmation on his main beams. One of the coolest deer I've ever seen. Ear split completely in half from fighting years past. Just the king of this area. And he put 3 rounds in this deer, destroyed a lung, hit him square in the chest cavity, and that we tracked that deer for a mile, all the way down off 4,200 feet to 3,000 feet.
Wow.
And he was still trying to chase does. I'm like, how is this deer? And I thought this was going to be the first deer that I've seen or been around shot with a rifle that we wouldn't find. I'm like, we're reviewing the footage, and being able to film your shots is such a massive help, by the way. Even if you never want to do YouTube stuff, if you can film a shot through your binos or heck, record with your phone just to be able to rewatch the footage and see exactly what happened, that is such a massive help. But
it sure is.
We've finally caught up to this deer and saw him put one more round in him. And then as we're field dressing him, I'm like, I cut the ribs open to take the heart out, and one of his lungs is gone. And then he's just got so much, any marginal shot with a rifle like this on any other deer, they die in their bed in 30 minutes. And this buck was getting up and still trying to chase does. It was the wildest thing.
Went down on a sword, man. I always think those are the warriors, It's
his hooves, bro. If I would have saw that track, I'm like, that's a big mule deer. Just this gnarled, grizzled mountain stud.
That's
Never
so
seen
cool.
an egg field in his life. Just king of the mountain.
Dude, the film's going to be really good. Have you been working on the film at all yet?
I'm starting to.
Yeah, right.
So it was hard self-filming or filming, trying to teach. That's actually a good question. Let's get that on camera. My eyes are more tuned to find game than they are. So I'm guide, I'm camera guy, I'm mentor, I'm coaching through shots. Dude, it was a lot. I'm hoping next year. This was the greatest project I've ever been a part of. It was so cool. All 3 guys tagged out. All 3 of them are what else can we hunt? I'm in. What do I need to buy? I took these guys from I think I would like some meat. I think I could do this, to I'm a hunter now, dude. What else can we do now? How do you find antlers? Let's do that this spring. Turned 3 dudes from wildly different backgrounds, non-hunting backgrounds, and got them bit by the bug. The coolest thing I've ever done. So awesome. I can't wait to release the footage and the episodes, and hopefully, with my filming and trying to do everything, we can tell a good story. But it was the coolest thing I've ever been a part of.
So cool, man. It's
awesome.
mentoring like that is such a huge part. Like once you learn how to, once you have these skills, is being able to share it, and also like, a couple of the most important things in life are like your family and friends. So like being able to share that with friends, mentor them through that, get them started on this journey that like gives so much to us is like kind of giving back to the world, or giving back to the ethos, which is good. I think the hunting gods reward that too. Like with your 3 deer you got. Yeah, 3 deer you got those guys, but yeah, hopefully you're rewarded as well. But yeah, I think what you put out in this world is what you get back. That's an amazing project, man.
Yeah, and I had this like revelation a couple years ago of like, I'm in my 30s now. My knees hurt all the time. Like realistically, how many more seasons do I have where I can go hard, until my body just can't do it anymore? And I just had this revelation of like, well, say I can't hunt at 55 or can't like I used to, and hopefully like we'll take care of our bodies and be able to do this till we're in our 70s, But there is a reality of like the body slowing down. And it's like, if I only have, I could die in a car wreck, next week, it's like with the time that I have, instead of just being selfish with my time, can I impart this gift that has given me more than anything, closer relationship with God, learning to be mentally tough, comfortable in uncomfortable situations? Can I give this to someone else? And so that's what I see like the biggest project every year for me is, who are these 30-something grown men with young kids that I can start like imparting some of this to and get them outside more. Well, that's a good way to spend your life, I think.
Oh, dude, that's some deep thinking. You better be careful. You're gonna become a shaman. Yes. No, it's like that is.
At one time.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. No, that is. I think it's important to think about those things and what you want to leave behind, and kind of the direction of your life and where you want it to go, and spending time doing the things you like to do around the people that you want to be around. And I always think to have good friends, I also have to be a good friend. It's like. You have to do good things for those people, and I'm lucky to have like a good circle of friends. And I met these guys from Hawaii like maybe 10 years back, and they become some of my best friends. They come out here and hunt elk. I go out there, hunt axis deer, like this one on the back wall and the hide, and so they just become some of my best friends. But hanging out with those guys, they almost took friendship to another level. Like they would literally give you the shirt off their back. They would do anything for you, And so it was like, it made me kind of analyze my friendships and how I treat people, and like, God, I think I can do more, I think I can be even a better friend than I am now. But I really work hard at that with my buddies, to try to give them encounters, to try to give away like, all my old bows are always given away. I only keep 2 bows, and I've owned 25 of the things, but I'm always giving it to somebody that's deserving, whether that's a new hunter, whether that's a buddy, whether it's in any of my extra gear. It's always just free reign. I know if somebody needs something, it's given to them, never sold, never make any money off of it, just given to them. But I made me realize or analyze myself and how I treat my own friends, to really try to be the best person I can. And not that I do believe in karma, but that's not the reason for doing it. It's just being a good person, a good friend.
Just be a good friend. And the best friendship advice I ever got, I asked a mentor of mine, what makes a great friend? And he just thought for a second and said, a great friend is someone who requires nothing from you. And I think like in this, in the business side of what we do, and you've been in the game a lot longer than I have, you can tell almost right away when it's like, this person wants something from me. I'm sure you've experienced that. I've experienced it, and I'm, I have a seat at the kids' table, as I like to say. And I like that seat, man. I'm comfortable there with the other retarded people. But no, you can tell right away when it's like, this person like wants something from me. And I never want to be that person or that friend. Like, I require nothing of you. I do not require you to hunt with me if your schedule doesn't allow for it. Like, I'm going to cheer you on. Here's my OnX pins. Oh, you have just one Saturday? Go here. Check this out. Call me if you get something. I never want to be a guy that has ulterior motives and wants something from someone.
Yeah. Or even being greedy for that matter
Yeah.
too. It's like, there's all, like, I have to be careful with the information I put out, but anything that I learn, anything that's beneficial for other guys, I share. I just don't share exact spots. Now I do with my buddies or
Yeah, of course.
pins and would always share that. But it, like being selfless is such like a better place to be. Like I was talking with somebody last night and they're so protective. They don't even want to post any of their animals on social media. And it's fine. Everybody can keep their secrets and that's fine. It's not a big deal. Like everybody has to treat their hunting in their own way.
Yeah.
But it's almost like a better mindset when I share with buddies, when I see them be successful, when I share information with my audience, and then I get a message that they arrowed a deer, they killed a bull or something. It makes me feel good, but I also don't just sit and stress about my spots or about my location. Like I know I've got a good skill set that I'll go find another spot.
Exactly.
And if you're chasing my hunting spots, like you're going to be in trouble. You don't want to run behind my vapor trail of everything that I've spooked along the way, or you know what I mean? It's like not going to be good hunting. And just so you know, I post pictures of bad hunting spots too. So if you're chasing pictures and spots, like you're also going to go to some empty areas while I'm trying to find good areas, So the skill set's really in finding new spots, new areas, and being selfless with your spots. I just don't stress about a lot, and I enjoy my time afield, and I kill some great animals, and it all works out. Yeah, I just don't got to be stressed out all the time or trying to hold back any of these secrets. Like I just share with the world, it seems to work for me.
Yes, and this is a great conversation because me and my buddy were having a very spirited debate about this. There is a code of ethics, like underwritten.
There is.
So, like, I want your take on this. Say we went hunting together. You took me to one of your great mule deer spots. And without asking, 2 weeks later, I took someone else up there.
Oh, that's a cardinal sin.
Yes, right? Okay, great. When can you claim, well, that's my spot? What qualifies that? This is what we were having a great conversation about, because it's like a buddy of mine went mule deer hunting up in this spot that I told him about because I was bear hunting it, found a big old muley dead head. And my buddy is like one of the most generous people. He wants everyone to go, but sometimes he'll take people I don't know up into spots that I've like shared pins on. And this spot was a little different because me and my other buddy were e-scouting it at the same time, and literally like at the same time we're like, have you ever been here? And text each other at the same time. That's happened with him and I multiple times. It's hilarious. It's like, I swear I don't have an in at OnX and they're sharing your pins with me. Our brains are just similar that way. So this one's different because this guy was going with this guy. There's a lot of like gray. And at the end of the day, it's like, fine. Like, not a big deal, but it got us talking about, I was like, David, if I went into your best whitetail spot and killed a 150-inch deer, because he killed 163-inch non-typical up in there. If I went up there and killed a buck, he's like, oh, I'd be fucking pissed. I'm like, yeah. But like, when do you get to say, well, that's my hunting spot? If you take someone there, it was my argument or my side of it. It's like, if I take you there, that's my spot. And obviously do whatever you want. This is America, it's public land, but there is this like ethics debate. There is a bro code in that. I've never hunted spots that I've been to, and these guys, the guy that originally took me there doesn't even hunt it anymore. And I've still just never set foot in it. Like when do you get to definitively say, dude, that's my spot, you should have asked?
That's you're exactly right. So I talk about being sharing everything, being open, but yeah, there is a code of ethics, and all me and my buddies kind of follow it, and we're in agreement. Because if I take a friend
up there, and then he goes, oh, I got this great spot, and he takes two more guys, like it just snowballs from there.
Dude, yeah, the spot's no good anymore. Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Yeah, so it's just one of these things, these locations, they mean so much to us, and you work so hard to find them. Not only is it gas money. Not only is it time, it's time
Sweat
away
equity.
from work.
Yeah.
It's sweat equity. And then how many spots do you go to that aren't good before you find this good spot?
All
and
the
it's
time.
not only having a good spot, it's also knowing how to hunt it. Knowing the
Exactly.
vantage points and how
That's
you go
even-
about it may take you 10 years to
Right.
learn all that.
Yep.
And so, yeah, the code of ethics for me and my circle of friends are exactly that. Now, I'm an open book. I'll tell those guys where I'm at. I tell them what I saw, and they can use that information to find different spots. And they all know that they're welcome to any of my spots that I've taken them. Now you start taking somebody else, the game has changed.
Yes.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like now you've got to call me and got to check me in. And all my buddies are really good. They don't
Yeah.
have to call me if they're going to my spot, but they all do. You know,
Yeah.
if they're going to my spot, they call me and check in and
Is
go,
this
"Hey, I'm
cool?"
thinking about hunting. Yeah, is it cool if I go there?" And so they check in with me, which is a great way to be. And
Yeah.
it makes us all feel secure in sharing everything with each other.
Right.
But they know that they don't not taking
It's not
somebody
an open
else to that spot.
Yeah,
I had like a buddy years ago that I took in bow hunting bears, and I took him to my money spots. And now archery only for bears, I've got to have better spots than the rifle guys. I got to get stalks and plays and got to
Right.
see him. So I took him into a prime time spot. He killed a bear, got a stalk or whatever. Then I kind of get word that he's taking somebody else in there with a rifle to my good location. And so, you know, it's like, now we need to have a conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
Now we need to have a call and like, dude, I didn't show you this, you know, so you could take other people in
Right.
there. And I try to have those conversations beforehand. If we're driving to the spot, go, dude, I'm taking you to my A spot here. I'm going to show you how to hunt it.
Please
Like,
don't tell
you're
anyone
welcome
about
to hunt it with your bow in there anytime you want. It's
Yeah.
no big deal. But don't be taking other guys in here. Don't be rifle hunting or it'll all change, you
Right,
know?
right,
And so, like, I try to have those conversations beforehand. But
Right.
I think we're on the same code of ethics. I think if you
Yeah.
wrote a rule book, I think me and your rule book is going to sit side by
Yep.
side and be spot on with each other,
Right.
you know? And it has to be that code because good spots are tough to come by, and
Yeah.
you didn't show it so that he can bring a buddy, and pretty soon you'll be looking for a new spot. So
Yeah.
we have a pretty good code of ethics
'Cause
between
even
us
if
guys.
You told nobody, you're not that original. Someone's gonna find it.
Yeah.
Every hunter has OnX or GPS or something. Every hunter that is trying to become a better hunter, which means they're gonna know which topography to start looking for certain animals, slope angle for bears, certain facing slopes, and they're gonna start to put the pieces together, and then that narrows down the spots real quick. Especially, okay, well, if all the road systems are here, well, I'm gonna go way up here then. Like, your spots will be found eventually.
Everything changes, and they usually don't change for the better.
Right. Sorry to interrupt, but this podcast is brought to you by Tricer. Tricer makes lightweight glassing solutions from tripods to Arca plates, quick release adapters. It's like Legos for grown-ups. It is awesome. I've been using Tricer for the last couple years, and it has completely transformed how I hunt. Anytime you can get tools to make sitting behind the glass for hours and hours more enjoyable, you're gonna find more game. You're going to kill more game. In my case, you're going to miss more game, but at least you saw something cool. You've seen it. You've heard about it. Tricer's new RP bipod, in my opinion, is the best hunting bipod ever made. It is 15 ounces with the long leg setup. You get a set of short legs as well, metal claw feet, rubber feet, and you can go in the widest width setting, even with the long legs, 8 inches prone, get the width setting in, extend the legs all the way out, and you're at 30 inches for sitting, kneeling. It's incredibly versatile, incredibly lightweight, and my favorite bipod that I've ever used. So check Tricer out at tricer.com and use code dillonsucks to save 10% off your entire order and support the channel in the process. This podcast is also brought to you by 2O Gear. 2O makes awesome Western layering clothing systems. I've been extremely impressed with them, from their rain gear to their insulation layers. Their merino, and I will die on this hill, is the most comfortable merino wool I've ever worn, and I've tried just about everything. And they all come in at a price point that's a little bit lower than some of the competition. If you are looking to supplement your current clothing system, or just want to upgrade from your Walmart stuff or whatever you have, please check 2O Gear out at 2ogear.com. Use code dillonsucks for 25% off everything on the store. My personal favorites, they're merino and their molten heated vest. I never thought I would be using a heated vest in Western hunting, but how they pulled this vest off, it's become my favorite piece for late season hunting. Check it all out, 20gear.com. Don't forget to use code dillonsucks. Elk Don't Exist, the pod, is proudly brought to you by Lacrosse Footwear. You've known Lacrosse for years. They're alpha burly, muck style insulated rubber boots. But recently they've come out with some insanely cool leather hunting boots. I've been wearing them the last 2 years, and it's my favorite boot I've ever worn. I've never been a $500 boot guy in my experience. All waterproofing and all boots everywhere, if you're hunting hard, lasts 2 to 3 years at most. So I've always been a $200, $250 boot guy every other year, factored into my hunting expenses. But what you get with the Lacrosse ES, the Ursa ES boot, an extremely lightweight boot, it's a high top, but it has a very athletic feel. So early season, amazing for chasing elk. It feels very athletic, very light. And then you can layer up your socks under it and push even into late season. I love Lacrosse. They've been an amazing partner. Please check them out, lacrossefootwear.com. We are also brought to you by Maven Optics. Maven is a direct-to-consumer company. I love that business model because they're able to put high-end glass into a product that costs a fraction of what the competitors are selling their stuff for. And they still have an amazing unlimited anything happens column warranty. Huge fan of Maven. I've been loving the 12 by 50 B series binoculars. They're super compact, give me plenty of range for Western hunting, and small and compact enough to just put in my bino harness and forget about them. They're awesome. You're going to love them. Everything from their rifle scopes, even their middle of the road, as they call it, glass in their C series rifle scopes, spotting scopes, binoculars. I would put that up against any other mid-tier optic in its category, and I think Maven has the edge. Check them out, mavenbuilt.com. Thank you, Maven, for sponsoring the podcast. We are brought to you by Barnes Ammunition. I'm getting better groups out of all of my rifles since switching over to Barnes, specifically their Harvest collection. Guys, this is a box of ammo that costs $39 to $45, depending on your caliber. It is tipped with the Sierra Game King bullet, world-renowned for its effectiveness on game. They developed this bullet to be a cost-effective but still use premium components. I'm getting 1/4 to 1/2 groups out of all my rifles with this, and we got to put it to the test this deer season. We killed 6 deer with the Harvest collection, and it performed extremely well, even out to ranges exceeding 500 yards, which they don't advertise. That's what the bullet's for. But guys, it works. It shoots well, it groups well, and it's cost effective. If you haven't checked out the Harvest collection from Barnes, please do so. Thank you, Barnes, for being an awesome sponsor of Elk Don't Exist, the pod. Guys, everything I do is brought to you by elkdon'texist.com. Right now, I am wearing the Ghost hoodie, the Ghost Elk hoodie, elkdon'texist.com. Every purchase there funds everything I do. It feeds my family, it helps me keep the podcast going, and funds all my hunting videos and everything I'm doing on Instagram. If you haven't checked out elkdon'texist.com, please do so. It is a fun reminder not to take yourself too seriously. I love you. Thank you for supporting me and elkdon'texist.com. Check it out today, elkdon'texist.com. Let's get back to the show.
You have to have a good skill set at finding new hunting locations, and I think that's where I shine. Is I'm constantly looking, and even if I have good spots, I'm trying to expand my knowledge with those good spots and places that look like that, or adjoining drainages, or if that spot's good, what about the other side of the range that faces south that looks that way, And so I think the skill set is being able to find new locations, and I am always on the hunt. And I hunt a lot of spots that I've hunted before that are good spots, and I'll go revisit them, but I may hunt a couple other spots before I go back there or expand my knowledge or go into a totally different unit and go figure that out. But things are always changing in Western hunting, and they're usually not changing for the better, so you have to be in front of it. Always be developing new spots.
That's such a great thing, and I think we hear people complain all the time about public lands overcrowded, and I'm like, well, I'm really not a great hunter, and I'm still filling multiple tags a year on public land in heavily hunted spots. And I think a lot of guys are like, well, me and my family have been hunting here for 40 years, and all these people are in it. Like, well, you got to get a new spot. That's part of the fun in itself, is like, I wonder what big old cagey animals are living up in here. Let's go shed hunt it, find sign, maybe get a game camera up. Let's start putting pieces. I love hunting new spots. I get bored of the same spots. And I go, like, one of my best honey holes, I killed my only drop tine whitetail in this spot. And then I just got bored of going there and stopped hunting it for years and just went back this year. And do you know Shed Crazy, Ben Denamonte?
Yeah.
He came up and he's doing his lever gun deer slam.
I know of him. I don't know him personally, just through social or whatever. It seems like
have him on the podcast sometime. He's a great guy, good friend. And he came to hunt with me on his lever gun slam. He's killing every species of deer in the country with an open sight 30-30.
So cool.
And he found a big old mature heavy 4x4 whitetail and ended up rattling it in on day one of our hunt to 100 yards. And he smacked it all on video. Freaking awesome. And this is the first time I've hunted this spot in a couple years. So it's fun to like revisit the old honey holes, but I always have to be trying to find new spots.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always be developing new spots. Yeah. That's the key. And it's easy to get stuck in a rut, and I see how guys do that. When you find a really good honey hole that's holding good mature animals and you figure it out and how to kill them, it's tough not to go back and do that exact same thing, but it only lasts for a couple years, especially if you're taking the mature animals out of there. Pretty soon it changes and you've got to look for a new spot, but you get stuck in a rut of hunting this spot that's always good. And I've got a deer spot out eastern Montana that's been good that me and my family have killed a bunch of bucks out of, but it ebbs and flows and cycles, and it's still rutting grounds, and it's still good hunting out there, but there's not quite the mature animals out there, so it's time to move. It's time to find a new spot. And my dad's the worst at getting stuck in a rut. He always wants to go back there, set up the wall tent in the spot, hunt that area, the same way he wants to go fish Barney to 8 Mile on the Madison River. Never wants to go to a new stretch or a new river,
Well,
but
I'm sure the older you get, there's more sentiment tied to those spots.
Yeah.
Of like, no, but this is where we camp.
Yeah.
This is where the memories are. So I get that.
And he knows how to hunt it. He knows where to glass from and where the deer show up and what drainages to go hike in. And so he knows it like the back of his hand. And so you get comfortable, and then you don't want to explore. And exploring, it's difficult again. You're gotta go to some spots and not see animals, not find big ones, and go, well, time to cross this off the list and go to a new spot, and then figure out the timing of said spot. Like it takes time, and it takes years to develop new spots, and then sometimes you stumble right into a honey hole. The spot that you e-scouted is right where he is, and you end up killing that 7-point bull I killed last year. Was a spot I e-scouted, went in there and killed him within a couple days, and it was a brand new spot. So sometimes it works out that way too.
Yeah, that's great. I think it's harder for the guys that have 4 Saturdays to hunt a year.
It's true.
Like they don't have the time to. What advice would you give those guys? Like get a couple more Friday, Saturdays in the summertime, looking for sign, or?
Yeah, it's tough, right? It's like time is the equalizer when out hunting and looking for good critters. And I think if you've got 4 Saturdays, it's like go to your honey hole when you think it's best and go hunt it, because you know how to get into those animals, and spend the Saturday before when it's not quite prime time, or the Saturday after, to go start developing a new spot. I think I also hunt spots I know, and I've got some really good locations, but I mix that up with new spots and developing new spots. So that buck you see out there last year, I killed that one in there the year before, but it wasn't the same spot where I killed the one this year. It's around the corner in a drainage I've never hunted. I started developing it more. I figured out more spots that I can hunt over and through there. And so it isn't where I killed that buck, but it's adjacent to it. And it's a spot I've been thinking about and looking at maps and planning to get into. And I got in there this year, found a giant buck and got him arrowed in there, you know? So it's like, that's a new location, or developing more of my current knowledge of that area. So I'd say do that a bit more too. If you got a good spot, develop it a little bit more. Go a little further. Yeah, camp the next ridge over. Yeah, for sure. I think that'd be good advice.
One of the best tips I ever got was at a bar outside of Glacier, coming back from an elk hunt, and old timer at the bar. I love talking to the old timers that hunt. He told me two things. He said, key to elk hunting is if you can't hear the highway, you're too far. And I've found that to be very true on many spots. And then the other thing he said was, I was talking about, it's one of my favorite whitetail spots, or it just seems like there's a lot of deer there, but it just gets road hunted like you would not believe. And he's like, for good reason. Someone's grandpappy's grandpappy killed a giant right off the road. Then someone's grandson did the same thing. Word travels fast. He's like, and then he said, that area, unless it has been radically changed, like there's big bucks in there because it has everything a big buck needs to grow. Like if you find a big shed antler in a place, chances are very good that over years, that place is going to continue to grow mature bucks. He's like, those big deer are still in there. They're just not close to the road. So I was like, okay. So I started looking at some of the most heavily road hunted, heavily pressured spots and just looking at maps going, okay, obviously there's big deer in here still. Where would they go? And it's like, oh, you just got to go an extra mile. And then I killed two of my biggest whitetails in this same drainage. Biggest whitetail of my life last year. There was 4 other hunters on e-bikes 400 yards from this deer on the road systems. 4 fat dudes on e-bikes where they're not supposed to have e-bikes. I don't blame them. They're huge guys. Like, cheat if you gotta cheat, I guess. Joking around right now, but. And then there's this buck, because I figured out how to hunt the pressure deer. Where, if I was a big deer, where would I go hide when people just start coming up the road systems? Oh, I'll just hike up the ridge and let the pressure push them to me. And that's exactly what happened. So, like, if I am driving around finding a new spot and I see a spot that is just hammered, it's like, okay, where's the nearest gate? No one's going to be parked at it because everyone's just road hunting. And I'm just going to go way over here. No one's going to be over there. And then, boom, mature deer.
Such great advice, man.
I love it.
A lot of this e-scouting is figuring out the zones of pressure and where they come from, and then figuring out the spots in between there where these deer can grow up. And you're right. I say spots always change, but in the same breath, good spots are always good spots, and they grow mature animals. Good units are always good units. Like, my first e-scouting was trying to reading Boone Crockett and Pope and Young and where the big ones come from, and then going to hunt those units with my bow, and there's big bucks there. It's like, you got to work a little bit harder at it nowadays. Like, I think people see the hunting going downhill and they're like, oh, we used to drive these roads and kill big bucks everywhere. And it's like, there's still big bucks around. They're just back a little bit. Like, to grow up, they just figure out a different routine in there where they don't cross roads or rut does and openings that you can glass right from the road, because those deer won't live past 3 years old. But the ones that do figure it out, like, they live to be 4, 5, 6 and still grow big bucks. So I think that's great advice.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not above this, but I have no desire to, like, hop out of a truck and shoot something, And some guys, like, love doing that or whatever. I think the guys that complain the most, like, and this is a misconception with me of, like, oh, Dillon sucks at hunting. Did I work extremely hard at it, and I get more time than most people. And just from those things, the last several years, all the puzzle pieces just slowly piece together. And I'm like, look, I wasn't hunting in the good old days, but they feel right now pretty fucking good. So I don't know what everyone's whining about. Like,
we are in the good old days, at least of our lives. Like, I don't get to go back to the 70s and chase mule deer. So this is all I got.
Yeah.
And I hunt hard to a fault. Like, it's like, I think I could get into animals and kill some animals if I'd sit from a roadway and glass a little bit more, if I'd be more mobile in my truck. And not that I never do any of those things. Sometimes I want to get a feel for where the deer populations are.
For sure.
But I almost hunt hard to a fault, where I'm always backpacking in. I'm always hiking more miles than I should. I'm almost working harder than one should to try to kill the animals, but it just works for me. And that's like my niche. And that, like, I just don't change the equation. It's always worked for me. It works out. But I'm backpacking in where, guys are just walking in a mile and killing things, but to a fault. But that's the way I like to hunt, and it works for me.
Hunt your hunt. Like, no shame to road hunters if what you're doing is legal. Like, I've hunted like that. It's not my favorite way to do it, but some deer camps in Idaho, back when I was a younger rascal, you have a little bit too much to drink playing poker, and then everyone goes to bed at 2 and we're up at 4. Road hunting's pretty fun. Like, in that. So no shame to, like, hunt the way you want to hunt, as long as it's legal. Like, no shame. But I just don't subscribe to this, like, oh, hunting is over, it's ruined, it's overpopulated. You can find spots where you're not going to run into people. And dude, like, and maybe this is just my naivety or whatever, I love running into other hunters on the mountain. I love being able to tell them where I've seen, like, good deer, or, if they're nice and cool or whatever. But I've made some great friends just with chance encounters on the mountain. And I've also had it where, you wave someone down, like, oh, let's talk. We're both hunting here. What's your plan? I'm not going to get in the way of you. We're doing it. Like, I just think that's common courtesy. And they'll go like this and just, like, run the opposite direction and not want to talk to you. Like, they're mad at you for being up there. And that just sits, it just feels so gross. Like, this year I was hunting with my brother, my twin brother, and this happened to us, where these two guys came up from the other side of where we were, and we had been sitting up there an hour before daylight. They came up over the hill and were like, oh, it's 2 hunters like 50 yards away. Wave at them and start walking to them. And they both just don't acknowledge us, don't wave back, shake their head, and start walking the other way. And I was in a petty mood. I ran after them. And I was like, what's up, guys? What's going on? Like, where are you hunting? And the guy in front still didn't even talk to us. The guy in the back felt bad and started talking. But that's, like, one of my favorite things to do, is, like, meet people, figure out, and you can learn so much from them just from being kind. There's a lot of people that are willing, hey, got into a big bull over here. Like, I'm hunting this, so if you come up here, just know I'm probably over there. I'm up here for a week. Sweet, dude. Here's my satellite number. If you kill him, let me know. I'll come help you pack out. I'll be hunting this stuff. If you want to make a plan together, I love that so much. I think that's what the hunting community should be about. And people are more willing to cooperate than I think people think.
It's big country, and there's plenty of area, and there's still great hunting out there where I can get away from hunting pressure. And if you do run into somebody, it's just great to, like, communicate your game plan or what you want to do, and then be hunting 2 different areas. Like, I ran into a kid last year, as a young kid. I was backpacked way back in there. It was like, I didn't think there was anybody. And then I climbed what I thought was Everest, up. And I get up there,
already up there,
and there's a kid that's sitting there glassing off a tripod, and I walk up, and he didn't hear me or see me, and so I kind of startled him, and he was listening to my podcast as he was glassing the hillside. It's one, like, small world, right? And then he was super cool kid, and I told him I was stalking a buck and where it was. I told him where I saw some other bucks. He ended up arrowing a buck that year in there or whatever. Then I ended up fishing with him this summer. He shared his river with me, and we went fishing together, and it's just, like, a great guy that I keep in contact with, and I met him on the mountain there listening to my podcast, which is wild.
That is so funny.
It's so funny.
Crazy. I rolled up on some guys this year. They were glassing. They had found a buck across, and I was going, like, miles behind a gate, and they were glassing across a drainage where they had seen a good buck. And I get out of the car. I don't get recognized a lot. They're like, elk don't exist, guy. I'm like, homies, what's up? And just stayed and chatted with them, glassed with them for a little bit. I had some Tricer prototypes, showed them the prototypes because they were all using Tricer tripods. And dude, it was just great. And then the day I killed my whitetail, got it back to the truck, and I can hear them talking where they parked, and I heard another shot from there, I don't know, 30 minutes before I got to the truck. So I ran over there. Did you guys kill one? Like, yeah, dude, it's a big giant whitetail across the drainage, and dude, it was so fun. Like, I love that. And yeah, I can't imagine walking up on someone on a mountain way up there and have them listening to this podcast. Like, that would be crazy. That is so funny, man.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's kind of like that scarcity or abundance mindset, you know, where it's like, man, I'm going to get mine. Like, I know I'm going to hunt hard enough. I got enough days. I'm going to find spots where people aren't. And I don't love seeing boot tracks or humans in when I'm hunting or messing up a stock, but it just is what it is. Yeah. And we're all out here trying to do the same thing, but at least I'm going to have a conversation, figure out where you want to go, share information. Like you say, I'll share where I've seen elk, where I've seen stuff going on, what I've seen. It's like, yeah, we can just be a little bit more cordial. And it, like you say,
we're all on the same team.
We're all in playing the same game, trying to enjoy the same thing. And it's, like you say, people are way more willing to, work out a game plan to go in a different direction. I mean, the percentage of assholes that you run into on the hill is very low. Most guys are all good guys.
They're out there.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, for sure.
Hey, it's coming back to them at some point.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or they're just...
Or they're not having fun.
Already, they're miserable people.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And that's on you. You're going to go home after being gone for a week, mad. There's so many hunters, and I didn't fill my tag, and your wife's going to go... I really don't like when you come home from hunting. Like, it's not fun. And that's just going to hurt that person even more, you know? So...
You better enjoy your time out there. It's like, we only have so much time on planet Earth, and then we only have so much time where we're not grinding, working, you know, a job or like having to put on time. And then hunting season's so short. It's like, and if you're not enjoying it, if you're not smiling out there, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, definitely. And that's my whole brand. It's just, hey, yes, when I'm hunting, like, I take it very serious. You know, I want to fill tags. Like, I'm not out there just lollygag, and I want to get better at this, and I want to fill tags, and we all do. But just not having that ego or over seriousness where you can't just enjoy even what you're looking at. And I've been there, and I'm sure you've been there, where I'm sure you've had some experiences on a blown stock or something, or just a really grindy season that it just does not feel like it's going to happen for you. And that you do have those moments of like cussing and kicking the dirt, but like how you recover from that, and then just, okay, well, what did I learn? Who did I meet? Who did I get to spend time with? And it's been well over a decade. Like, I don't remember. I've killed something every year for as long as I can remember. So like, there's opportunities, and yeah, like, you will get yours, but if you're not enjoying when it's not going your way, I think learning, it says a lot about your character of how do I behave when things don't go perfectly my way. And I've had some of those moments where I'm like, what am I out here throwing a brush fit for? Look at where I am. I don't have a job, right? I don't have to answer to a boss right now. I don't care if I ever fill a tag again. That's pretty cool, you know? So, yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Like, one of my buddies who, like, it's a big running joke every time we hang out. He's like, I don't understand your brand. Who is not having fun hunting? I'm like, you would be surprised. A lot of dudes, a lot of grown men aren't enjoying hunting as much because they won't allow themselves to.
Yep, I've been known to throw a tantrum or two. I'm not proud of it, but it doesn't take me long to pull myself out of it and realize like what I have. Where I hate making mistakes or stupid mistakes, but they happen out there, you know. Blew a bull at the end of an elk film this year where it was like I just, man, he was in the perfect spot and he was a great bull with all his cows, and then All I had to do was wait for the sun to go over the hill, the thermals start dropping, and
Yeah.
I got a solid play at him. But I'm trying to like get closer as he's working down this diagonal meadow. The whole way over there, the wind's good as I'm in the
And then it just
timber,
switches
and
for
the
a
sun's not quite down, and I just should have slow played it, and I knew
Yeah.
better. And instead, I kept pushing a little bit closer, a little bit closer, and then felt that wind on the back of my neck and blew him up on this great opportunity I worked so hard for. And it wasn't a full-blown tantrum, but I was a little mad at myself
Yeah,
for
like,
like
what are
messing
you
it up.
doing,
Like,
dummy?
God, I'm such an idiot. I knew to
Yeah,
slow play him.
yeah.
I knew to wait, and I would have killed that bull.
You
But
flew too
but
close to
then
the sun.
pretty
literally.
soon it's like you just like go, well, you know, gosh, I got to chase a great
Yeah.
bull. I found him up and through here. I'll get another chance at a bull. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you just like come to terms with it. But yeah, I think the things you can control out there are your mindset, your effort, and really how I judge my seasons. You know, this was a grind of a season.
Right.
But how I judge it is like, man, I've been able to spend so many days of field. I have put forth full effort 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Like I have done everything in my power to try to arrow one, and I've enjoyed it every day I've spent out here. Like this is a winning
win,
season.
yeah.
And then something ends up dying from my arrow, and then, you know, I put together another good season. It's like every
Yeah.
year it just seems to come together for me. You know, it's like I sometimes it feels impossible or like it's not even possible. And maybe I don't fill out on that hunt, but to continue to put forth effort, eventually something goes my way. I get my chance. I get an
Right.
arrow, get an animal arrowed, and it, you know, due to my preparation and due to my experience and all the years I spend doing it and the effort and the mindset, something dies.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I can't wait for that to start happening to me more. And it is though.
It is.
Because I'm almost like I'm learning how to not like force something to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of like, I don't know how to explain it, but
No,
truly
that's
just
really good.
hunting.
Yeah.
That's when stuff happens.
Yeah.
And I think every year for elk, it was like, I am just like please, you know, God, please put a bull in front of me, you know, and my calling is like, please respond, just please, like something has to, instead of just, like if you've done this long enough, you know when you're in fresh elk sign, you know, you start to learn like, okay, I know what elk are doing this time of day, whatever, the thermals are up, let's climb and figure out where they're bedded for the day, and just being free to hunt instead of like, let me kill something now.
Mm-hmm.
Like that switch. And but at some point this season gets grindy enough where those old thought patterns come back into play.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about you this year because bow only, I mean, you killed on like the last week of season, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when everyone else is with a rifle and it's cold and you still got a bow, and you talked about in like an Instagram reel, like the mental, like what your mental process kind of was of like, I'm mentally in this still. And you had a big smile on your face, and then boom, it was like a day later, like got him. You know, that's so cool.
You're tapping into something there, man. It's
Yeah.
like when you try to force it or you work too hard, you want to put full effort, you want to push hard, you want to make the right moves, but success almost finds you. You got to let it happen and let it play out
great.
and just be present in the moment that you're in and do the best you can with the scenario you have.
Yeah.
And eventually it comes together. And don't worry too much about the end of season. Don't worry too much about tomorrow. It's right now, today. You make the best play you can. But yeah, man, it's like if I start forcing too hard or pushing too hard, it like won't come together because I'm pushing so hard and I'm like trying to force it to happen, where instead I just lay back, make the right moves, let my instincts guide me. I make a decision here. I'm not overthinking it. I'm not throwing tantrums. I'm just playing the game.
Right.
And all of a sudden there he is broadside and I put a good arrow in him.
I love that. I'm a big poker player, like love poker. I've been studying the game for a decade. Played enough poker and studied enough poker to know that I suck at poker, you know? But there's a term in poker called going on tilt, which is where you're upset about the cards you were dealt or how it played out, and now you're trying to force hands. You're betting hands that you shouldn't bet with. You're getting greedy. You're punting, as we call it, where you're going all in, frustrated, and you're just punting your money away. That happens in hunting a lot. Where
Sure
instead
does.
of like waiting back, okay, cards didn't go my way, but I'm going to continue to play mathematically sound poker. And over the long run, that wins. And hunting is very similar to that. Like, I think I've hunted on tilt a lot.
Me too.
Yeah, when I'm just running through the woods, just trying to make something happen. And it's like, you have to play the best hand you can in that moment. And over time, that's a winning formula.
That's a great analogy and explanation of it. Yep. And I can't tell you how many times it happened to me twice this year where I'm pushing so hard at a hunt. I'm trying to make the right moves. I'm being present. I'm enjoying myself. But one hunt was like 12 days in a row.
Oof.
The other hunt was like 6 days in gnarly weather.
Yep.
And I go home, I reset for a day or two, and I go back and I kill something within the first day or two.
Love that.
I come back with this fresh mindset, and all of a sudden it just comes together in the same spot, same location, same deal. So it's amazing just getting your mind right, and then all of a sudden it comes together and something dies.
Yes, and it's the hardest thing to learn, because I was telling like one of the rookie season guys, like, you can get in mountain shape in like a week. The physical is not the hardest part of this. It's the mental game. And if you allow it, the mountain will make you mentally tougher if you let that happen. And I think when people ask me like, yeah, you're a bad hunter, but like you've killed 3 bulls, you're 3 for 3 the last 3 years. Like, what's changed? And it's not like the only thing that's changed is mindset. I'm in the same shape I've always been in, like really good shape. I feel pretty confident I can out hike most people or go further or whatever. But staying in that, the tapping into that like mental side where, or even like on a heavy pack out, you know, I've packed out with some guys that are like, oh, this sucks. I'm like, I love this so much.
I do too.
You know why? I begged God for it. So what, I'm going to complain because I got what I asked for? No. You know, and always my prayer, like going hunting, is like, just let me walk step in step with you. Like, show me something about your character. Point out something in me I need to change. That's the win for me. And when that is happening, tag be damned, you know, like, how can I come home to my family a better person? And there's so many hunters that need to get back to, when they say hunting's not the same, I'm like, you're kind of the problem. Because you're just mad all the time. Remember, like, yes, we want to fill tags, we want to eat. You know, if I wound an animal, I'm going to keep hunting. You know, I'm thankful my ancestors didn't wound an animal, couldn't find it, and they didn't stop hunting, you know. And everyone has their own philosophy on that. If that's your conviction, do that, but don't put that conviction on anyone else. But I don't know, it's just in this life that we live in, everyone's busier than ever, and everyone wants to make money and busy and grind and travel sports, and it's like, this is like the last bastion of true freedom that we have. And I'm fully convinced of that. This is the one place where I feel 100% true freedom. And if I'm not enjoying that, something's wrong with me, not with public land.
Yeah, very well said, man. Yeah, it's spot on. You nailed it. Yeah, and it's we're so fortunate to be able to spend that time afield. And I'll tell you, like, I've arrowed a bunch of great critters, giant bulls, giant bucks. I've hunted all over the world. The fun is not sitting behind one. The fun's in doing it. The fun's in preparing for it, the anticipation. The fun's in being out there challenging yourself, finding those critters. The fun's in that adventure, that true freedom that you're talking about. I just experienced that in big mountain, deep snow, bitter cold, by myself, backpacking. Had this adventure, took me 2 days to pack them out, chain up all 4 on my rig to try to get out on cliffy mountain roads. Like a true freedom, true adventure. I have dreamed about that since I was a 20-year-old kid. Like, gosh, I would look back, I would look at myself now and go, man, you better smile. You're doing the coolest shit out there, you know? And like, to arrow a great buck up and through there, like, the enjoyment is in the process. Embrace that. Enjoy it along the way, and stuff will die. You'll end up behind big critters, you know? And maybe it doesn't happen on this hunt. Maybe it doesn't happen this year. But eventually, if you keep putting forth the work, you keep working on your mindset, your physical, all the different facets of your hunting skill set, stuff's gonna die, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen, you know. So yeah, I think enjoying the process, enjoying every part of it, like you really have to embrace that, and then success finds you.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And I'm proof of that, guys. Like, I'm proof of it. Like, I'm starting to find elk and kill elk. Who would have ever thought? And it's not because, people will say, you're secretly hiring guides. Like, bro, I'll point out the part on the map where I hunted, and there's 8 trucks at every gate, man. Like, you got in with the influencer crowd, and they're holding your hand to. If I was doing that, there's nothing wrong with that. You don't want help? Oh, you killed your first bull on private land. You're going to deny being able to hunt 13,000 acres of pristine? Get out of here with that stuff. I've worked at it. The amount of times I've been you should just quit. Like, nah, dude, I love this. Like, struck out for 12 years. This is going to be the year. And I've told myself that for 12 straight years. And eventually it will be the year, So, one last question, just in light of like doing this rookie season thing, and one of the hunters forgot his tag on 2 separate hunts that we had to drive back into town for, because you forget those really basic. One guy forgot his water bottle. He's like, "We need water." I'm like, I thought this was going to be like a no-brainer thing, like bring something to hydrate yourself with. So what was very cool about this project, the coolest thing about this project, and I've said this analogy before, but like, someone new's coming into your house, you become more hyper aware of, what's it smell like in here? What's the we need to tidy that. Should I buy a new couch? We've had this couch for way too many years. You're seeing your house through fresh eyes, right? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Or if you're watching a YouTube film that you're so proud of, and I'm standing here next to you watching it, you're now seeing that video through my eyes. You go, ooh, the pacing's not good here. I should cut this part out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Hunting with someone brand new does that for the whole outside world. One of the guys, we saw a moose and a calf. I was like, oh, Brandon, come up here. There's a moose and a calf. He's like, no, there fucking is not. Like, his eyes were this big, couldn't believe it. And it was this reminder of like, oh, I take encounters like this for granted all the time. I mean, it's still special, but I remember the first time I saw a moose. I was with my dad. It was 50 yards away, and he was like shielding me from it because it was looking at us. That like wonder that we can take for granted, those little things. How do you tell which direction the deer track is going? These are grown-ass men asking me these questions. It was so cool to just see everything fresh through brand new eyes. So someone listening who has never hunted, has never thought about hunting, or just recently is like, I think I'd like to get some good meat. Like, what advice, where does a brand new hunter start? Because the first thing they always ask is, what gear do I need? And I have to tell, don't worry about gear. But where would you tell a brand new adult hunter where to begin?
I got that same feeling like hunting with my daughter this year, sharing an adventure with her. I love that. Yeah, things you just take for granted that you have learned or known, and then you're explaining everything from square one. Like you say, seeing it through their eyes. That's a great explanation of it. So for somebody just starting out, it's the information day and age, and the bar for entry for hunting can be steep or feel steep, but there's so much information out there with your podcast, mine, like so many great places to start. But I would say it's like, find somebody that hunts, find somebody, a mentor or a buddy, and add value. Don't just be looking to go to their spots. Like, start yourself down the road or down the process. Go, hey, I listened to this podcast and they were talking about e-scouting. I got OnX and I started marking a few spots down. Like, what do you think about these? Like, but meet somebody
the free version of OnX is a great place to start.
Yeah.
You can make an account for free. You can see land ownership, or at least, okay, all the green filter is where I can go and hunt.
Yep.
Great place to start.
Yep. And I think I'm a doer. Like I just get started. If I like something or want something, and like you say, I love how you said don't get hung up on the gear.
Yeah.
You take your tennis shoes out there, your blue jeans, and the sweatshirts you have in your closet. The only thing you need is a rifle, and you could probably borrow one of those. You know, it's like you just don't, you know, some binoculars, but you just don't need to go out and spend $5,000, $10,000. But if you find somebody that also hunts, he's probably got a spare everything sitting there. Yeah, I know I do. You know, if somebody wants to go, it's like Katie this year is totally outfitted. She's got everything she needs, and you know she's not a hunter. She has been the last few years. She's actually killed quite a few deer. But
that's awesome.
But yeah, I think if it's something you're interested in, just start following the path. Try to meet some like-minded individuals that you can use for mentorship. Bring value to the relationship. Just get started and start eating up. Dive in. Just do it and go. Find yourself a closed road, find yourself some national forest and go hike into, just start learning.
See what you see.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that. I'm the same way. Like I learn by diving in, making mistakes, and I got to get my hands on it. You know, like the first time I did the gutless method, I watched 20 YouTube videos on it. Killed my first ever Montana buck, 2016, and I stood over that deer going, I forgot everything I'm supposed to do. Like the YouTube video did not help me.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, I got this. Okay, it's easy. And it's like, wait, where's that ball joint on the back leg? How do I skin around the Achilles without cutting it in half? I just learned how to do that like perfect every time this year, you know? But it was the same way. It took me 4 hours to do my first Montana deer. Now I can whip a deer up in like 40 minutes. Just burning through it. But yeah, just dive in, get started, and finding a mentor is great. And you might not have one in your circle of friends, but someone might know somebody.
Social media, everybody's so nice on social media. Everybody points out the downsides. I met some of my best friends I just met through social media, and they like the same stuff I do. Ask them questions. We
connected through social media.
Yeah, totally. But just find a mentor somehow, some way. There's a way to do it.
Definitely. And just get going. Like, it might take you 5 years to fill a tag, but think of who you could be as a person in those 5 years.
Yeah, spot on.
Dude, thanks so much for coming on the podcast.
My pleasure.
My audience loves you. It's an honor. I never thought I'd be getting to do this with people that I've looked up to for a long time. Thank you for everything you do for the hunting community, and best of luck. Spring Bears here.
Thanks.
Coming up, man.
Yeah.
Go
Thank
get 'em.
you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Brian.